Hi, I'm Dan with Cali Raised, and today we are going to be installing the 4th gen Tacoma stealth bumper. So the first step you're going to want to do is remove the front grille. We've already done that. If you haven't, please check our description for the link for that video. Today we're doing a full install on our front bumper. If you are just installing the bumper, all you need is the bumper skin and the 2 light bar brackets. If you're just installing the winch tray, all you'll need is this winch tray and these brackets. If you're doing the whole thing, you'll need the whole kit. For the bumper hardware, what you will need are 4 1/2-inch bolts with the associated nuts and washers. You will need 2 M12s, and you will need 2 3/8-inch bolts with the associated nuts, as well as 6 black button head 3/8 bolts. For tools, you're going to be needing a 3/4 inch, a 9/16 and a 19mm box end wrench. You're going to be needing a 7/32 Allen key, a 9/16 socket, a 19mm socket, a 17mm socket, and a 3/4 inch socket. With a socket wrench, we're using a power wrench today, and then some form of cutting tool to do some trimming on the bumper's plastic. For the winch tray, you'll be needing 8 1/2-inch carriage bolts, and then you will also need 8 1/2-inch bolts, as well as 2 M12s with the included nuts and washers. For tooling, you will need a 3/4 inch and a 19mm box end wrench. You will be needing a 3/4 inch, a 17mm and a 19mm socket with a ratchet wrench or a power wrench. Now that we've removed the front grille, we're going to move on to removing the front crash bar. To do that, we're going to be removing 8 M12 bolts using our 17mm socket. We've got 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom on each side of the truck. We are on the driver's side of the truck. We're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. On the passenger side, we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts. You're going to go ahead and remove those as well. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove this cowling that was behind the crash bar. There are 3 clips to remove on each driver and passenger side. Before you remount your grille, you've got to remove this bottom black facade. In order to do that, we've got 12 silver screws to remove, as well as 5 black screws, and then this hole should come off once you push those tabs in. Now that the grill's back on, we're gonna go ahead and start trimming part of that grill in these 4 locations using whatever cutting tool you choose. First, we're gonna trim the driver and the passenger bottom corner here, and then we'll move on to the center supports. So to start to install our winch tray, you're going to install your winch. And then what you're going to be doing is you're going to be using your carriage bolts, going through each side and loosely tightening them up. As a quick tip, you're going to want to install these brackets before you put your winch in. So starting with the 1/2" hardware, we're gonna lift the winch tray up into place. Place your bolt up through the top of your plate. Oh my gosh. Just to hold it in place. And then we're going to do the same to the passenger side. So now we're going to finish up installing this driver's side bracket by putting the rest of the 1/2" hardware in the top and the bottom hole, and then using an M12 in the center. We're going to go ahead and tighten all of the bolts mounting to the frame on both driver and passenger side, and then we're going to be tightening the winch tray. So now that I've finished tightening all the bolts to the frame, I'm going to go ahead and tighten all the bolts into the winch tray. Now that I've finished tightening all the bolts into the frame on the passenger and the driver side, I'm going to go ahead and tighten all the bolts on the winch tray on both passenger and driver side. So before we install the bumper, we need to install all the accessories that are attached to it. We're going to install our light bar brackets first, and then attach the light bar, followed by our black hardware in these 6 holes. So I'm going to be starting on the driver's side. So we're going to go ahead and place the bracket into place. gonna loosely throw it on. I'm gonna do the same thing to the passenger side. Next, we're gonna go ahead and mount our Cali raised light bar. Just gonna go ahead and hold it in place. It's helpful if you have a friend to hold it for you. Just loosely getting those threads started. And then go to the other side and do the same thing. So now we got to center our light bar and tighten our bolts into place. Next, we would install the bull bar option, but we are not doing that today. So we are going to then install just the black hardware provided, and we'll go ahead and tighten all those up. So to mount, we're going to show you here rather than the truck because it's a little difficult. The outside hole here, you're going to be using an M12. We're reusing the factory M12 bolt. You'd place that through here. And these two holes, so an inside and the top, are both going to be 1/2-inch bolts that go through there. So just to show you on the truck how we're going to be mounting the bumper into place, we're going to be mounting the outside hole that's on the bumper here using an M12. Then we're going to be using the inside hole here with the 1/2-inch, and then on the upper hole also using a 1/2-inch bolt. So we've put the bumper up, we loosely put the bolts in, now we're tightening everything up, and that's how you install a bumper on the 4th gen Toyota Tacoma. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the Cali Raised LED YouTube channel, as well as visiting caliraisedled.com to purchase the bumper, light bar, fog lights, and other accessories you see on the truck here.